It would help.
Very much help.
Oh, an ad. Lovely.
You wouldn't have that problem if you subscribe to the channel, Cruiser.
Nah, support the channel. Just watch the ads. And, oh, well, that's overcast.
Oh, that's a bit strange. Yeah, Bahrain, but
Well, there we go.
let's get on with this. Hello and welcome back to Fair Play Racing for our final race of the week for round ones for our tiers. We're here with the tier fours, so they will end out the week. So far, we've seen every race end the race separated by less than a second between first and seconds. So hopefully we'll be able to continue on with that. I am your host, well, one of your hosts, Silverside Boy, and joined alongside by me is...
Yep, it's your main cause for the evening, Cruiser 1872, and it's puppy playtime in the household, so I might be a bit more quiet than usual.
Yep, so I did the intro today because obviously everyone knows how stressful it is and how much attention you need to pay to a new puppy, which is, I guess, probably about 4 or 5 weeks old, Cruiser.
Double that.
Oh, 10 weeks old. So yeah, they are. Just imagine it as a young baby. You cannot take your eyes off for them for a second. But we'll go on board with OS Vit in the Aston Martin as he is the first man. Both Astons are out, so Vit and Bluntblade are out and out. I see Wars in the chat saying evening, lads. Nigel Piggle, Gary Hay for world champion. Yes, I'll not speak about my start of the season, technical issues, and oh Christ, my control is vibrating up mad. And a bug taking me out of the race very early on. But why is my controller vibrating so heavy? I'm gonna have to turn that off. I have no idea why it's doing that.
I think it's a sign, Gary.
Why they force feedback stream? Turn that right down. There we go. Turn that right down. No, save. What? It was like vibrating the whole house. Technical issues meant Mikelo was host. No, it was not host. Well, I was host. My Xbox turned off, and then it gave it to my teammate. And we all know when you migrate host in F1 games, it comes very unstable. But we'll keep on board with Vit, who will set a 28.9 in the first sector, which is very decent on the first lap of qualifying.
So far.
Go your question, but
yeah, so far so good for Vit. And of course, obviously, with the new driver lineup, our teammate is Bluntblade as Cruz de Dodo is enjoying a new toy in the background. If you can pick that up.
There in the background going, well done with it.
Yeah, it's a new toy, so need to persevere with that. Oh, sweet, more crackling, lovely. What up? Hopefully that's sorted it out, or has at least sorted it out for the moment. But there you go. So this whole lap from Vit has been squeaky toys and mic issues. So great start. I suppose it's not an FPRL stream unless you have a mic issues. So Vit 30.1, not too shabby.
I know I fixed the vibrational issues. I had to unplug the control V and plug it in because it's reacting like I'm driving. I don't know why. It's just
oh dear.
Another bug. Never used to feel vibration of someone braking on spectator. Now we have that as a.
It's an immersive experience.
Yeah, I can see my Bluntblade's Bluntblade's actually come into the box, but he didn't invalidate it.
Nah, I think he might have just been low on fuel or just couldn't be bothered going again. But One driver I think we'll have an eye on is going to be FPRL Fox. Was a title contender last season and swapped out the Aston for an Alfa Romeo. On their lap currently is Jeff. I'm not going to try and pronounce that name. There's a 30.6, and I'm going to refer to them as Jeff for the foreseeable future.
Oh,
Anyway.
what you mean in the Mercedes?
Yes.
Panea. That's what I've been told the pronunciation is.
Anyway, up to the line for Fox. And what's it going to be? It's going to be a 32-1. Room for improvement there, but he did make a mistake on that run.
I've just seen in chat Skullboy saying it's a shame I'm not racing tonight. I was looking forward to it. Yeah, unfortunately, it's the first. Well, it's not unfortunate. It's good to see that all our full timers are checking in for the first round, but it is usually first round of the season. Reserves don't usually get to race. Someone tell what's his name? Rainbow to turn his battery off on his outlaps. Well, to be fair, it's not a bad time from Rainbow for his first attempt.
It's respectable.
No,
and also, Crossgrey, welcome back, mate. It's gave you a truther there, Silversley boy. Lovely.
Yeah, I was going to get to that. This vibration is actually really annoying. I can't hold the controller in my hand. While I sit there, I'm going to go, you know what, first one of the string, we'll go Truth. And then if he does it again, I will then pick Dare.
Yeah, Crossgrey's, he's got a lot of investment to make. So, I think you're safe. Actually, I think we're going to go for a lap here, I think, with one of the Red Bull drivers and possibly one of the strongest teams in this tier, Tattooed Star, and FPRL Scotsman, who actually won the final social race before this this main championship, recovering from a mistake in Imola to pick up the victory. And Scotsman, funnily enough, was in a Red Bull for that race as well. So, see how he can cope for Bahrain, and maybe at Dodo. Please. Yeah, it's going to be one of those. Anyway, Scotsman, around turn 4, relatively stable, must be said, and 29.3, but Scotsman, much like most actually, using a set of medium tyres, and quite a bit of a split actually. Epic French up in third, using a set of medium tyres, and that should actually be enough to get him through.
Yeah, as a fellow Red Bull driver, as a team, we'll be hoping for better results. Well, a good result from these two, as the Red Bull team have only scored 6 points out the 3 tiers. It's not been the best start for us Red Bull drivers this season.
The only way is up. You remember in 2022, Red Bull had no points at the start after the opening round.
Yeah, that's how we're starting. But yeah, it's not what I wanted at all.
Scotsman on a 31-1, so relatively mid-table there for the Red Bull driver. Who else do we have on a lap? We've got Radical, Michaels, Bluntblade going for another run actually. Let's see what they can put on the board on another set of tyres. It could actually be enough to go quickest here, and is 29.8. Aston Martin 1 and 2.
That's not too bad for the Aston Martins, obviously. Yeah, Bluntblade's finding his pace this season. I've noticed through the socials. I don't know if I could get through on my 30.6. It says Matt BHA. I don't actually know who that is. But guess who leads the overall go? Yeah, Mercedes are top of the pile. Yeah, Mr. Cruiser with his yeah, your Nigel's good points recovery after his little incident in qualifying on Friday pretty much saved face for him.
Yeah. Certainly wasn't ideal.
No,
Oh,
I don't know what actually happened to him.
Crossface gave you your truth. I just noticed.
I know. I can't. I don't know how to.
You can.
Mr. Gary, how much do you up the LM, and if so, why? I do not do that, and I don't think I should have to, because there's respect there. I'm trying to be careful with my words here, because there's the league management in the com box with me.
You want about? Well, I can assure you that you do nothing of the sort. So.
I do everything I possibly can. I just also want to say to Cruiser, how have you swingled WOR? And that's all I'll mention. I'll leave it down to you.
What do you mean?
Well, you know.
Yeah.
Have you swingled that?
Ought to be in a higher tier than
Yeah.
in half of FPRL.
Dirty Red Bull driver and a Merc Scottshire driver. Like, I don't think you can say I'm a dirty Red Bull driver, because I got damage on lap 1 from my own mistake, and then I proceeded to everybody, because I was out of sync of everyone, let everyone through past me. Didn't even fight with them, I just let them through and was trying to run my own way. So, yeah, I wouldn't say I'm a dirty Red Bull driver. You drive the Red Bull enough said. Oh, fair enough. To be fair, it's a very much of a karma, because I was very much talking a lot of smack that how I did not want the Red Bull, and then the Red Bull popped out for me.
Oh.
It didn't sandbag like some people, Gary. I didn't sandbag. I never sandbagged. I only got through to Q qualifying as TJ comes across the line. It's a 130.9. Puts him up to P10.
That's a good effort from Sachin.
I'm actually going to have to go into... I'm going to have to go into my controller settings on the Xbox and turn it completely off.
Davies reserve. Somehow in the same tier as Diamond. Don't know how I've done that. Don't know how I've managed that. But don't use that as an incentive.
Yeah, he's above us. Huh? I actually don't know how.
I don't know how.
But it is, at the end of the day, you obviously set faster times than I did.
Yeah, I'm a TT merchant.
TT merchant.
Anyway, first step Cyril for another run here it seems. They're having a first warm-up lap. And David Lawface in a 31-0. I think now everyone's got something on the board. Looking like maybe a 30.6 for a cut-off, 30.7. So everyone from Radical and I call him Jeff, but I'll try it. Panay. It doesn't sound right, man. When a Scottish person tries to say that name, it just doesn't sound right. Anyway, P7 downwards, might need to go again. See what Fish Steps can do in there. Second lap here, their proper attempt at their push lap through turn 10. First of 3, I'll say second of 3 DRS zones on this track. And Nigel saying it's all about the Fish Sticks Express. Well, you've got the Fish Sticks train in the race, and you've got the Red Bull pairing of the Star Express. Well, if you know that, you know. Up the Flying Scotsman. As, well, Fish Sticks is flying around here, it seems. 107.7 for Sector 2. Bluntblade, Vit, Mondo, the Tattooed Star, and the Flow improving up to 5th. Not seen the Flow for a while, actually, and seems like on the return they've got a little bit of pace to show. So 2 Astons, an Alpha, Romeo, Red Bull, and 2 Williams at the top, and Fish Sticks puts his name in the mix and splits the Aston Martins. 30.0 for the Mercedes, and I know, Nigel, you'll be very happy with that, as am I, because we both share the same team garage. Oh joy.
Did we tell you what your exact wording were when your name was pulled out and you were in the same team garage as Nigel?
I think
Should I
you know.
put you in?
I think we know, Gary.
I think you put it. You actually said it from the troll out loud. The Matt guy, BHA, said that you pronounced his name perfectly.
Yay!
Is that a Verstappen helmet on a Merc driver? Oh my god, fish sticks.
Wait.
to be, to,
Yeah.
be fair, I was supposed to change the Verstappen crash helmet from my helmet. I was supposed to change that because I didn't want it.
Team
But-
Fishface with a lion heart this evening.
Oh my lord, says Nigel Biggle. Fish has absolutely disgraced. Yes, I agree with Colin. It's criminal.
Yeah, the thing is,
Just
though,
like him.
if you go in the middle, you're hated by everyone, or you're just not.
Mate, we
cared about.
were all happy. We were all happy that we saw Buddy Hamilton get pole yesterday. Be careful, fish sticks. You don't want to take marker boards. You'll get a very angry Colin on your case.
I mean, Michael's row setting himself. Aside from Bluntly looking a little bit more impressive. Nigel, what's that about saying, I don't mind fish sticks, true that I mean? Well, yeah, I know I'm a handful, Nigel. I know.
I see Clatter Lads is in chat. Obviously, our head of recruitment. I think he's done a really good job getting the tiers to be so competitive. Wouldn't you agree, Cruiser?
Well, at least for the opening round, it's not been smooth sailing at the top. Let's put it that way. All three races haven't had a winning margin of more than 0.5 seconds, at least at the line.
That's good though. That's what we want to see. We want close races. A shame the real F1 can't be like that. Match that thing, isn't it?
Yeah, 33 seconds over a McLaren, which you wouldn't have said 4 months ago.
It's a perfect time to be. It's lovely to be a McLaren fan right now.
Yeah, you're actually
two consecutive podiums. I saw this really funny. It was like it's McLaren's first consecutive podium
since
2012.
2012. Oh dear.
And that was how they told Hamilton heard about it and made a joke saying, "Was that the time when I was still at the team?" Yeah.
Nah, Jensen got that.
It's been like that. It's such a nice time. Just watching Lando actually be like, I think Verstappen said in his interview that like he even struggled to pull away from Piastri on the first couple of laps because that McLaren was so quick.
In the context,
am I wrong?
In the context of the race, though.
I did see the stats on myself. If I've got that wrong, I feel but sure, it must be 2012.
Okay, no, yeah, Nigel, that hurts. Nigel joking, it was Monza and Sochi in 2021.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Wow, that hurt.
Well, at least we know there that Lando is due a victory. Anyway, Fox on their second run, up to 9th for the Alfa Romeo, and Stotsman was 9th, now down in 10th. That's usually how placements work. Tijum needing to find improvement is now low again, and actually we're approaching the final stages here of qualifying. Marco doing his best impression of myself from tier 3. Gonna leave it right to the last second to get over the line. It's gonna be actually quite close here for the Haas. Is he gonna make it? And he's on the right side of the timing scales with 1 second to go. Thank you, Marco, for showing me up. Anyway, David, Nasha, Rainbow, Marco, and Tijum looking to improve, but you got the McLaren there of you know who. Still, that could be a little bit troublesome there for the McLaren. We got Panay, Radical, we got 7 drivers, make that 6 drivers. Nasha is not going to improve and will start on the back row. Neither's Rainbow, they're out as well, starting from the back of the pack as well. David, very wide there, pushing it to the final few corners, but hopefully that's not cost him 2.
He was a 10th and a half down. He's invalidated.
Out of frustration.
Oh, he's gone for a spin.
Oh dear. Anyway,
he Radical's
right behind him. And Radical's burnt his battery. That might have cost him. It has cost him. Radical in 15th. He's living dangerously here. Got 2 drivers left that can challenge Radical. And Panay. See what the Mercedes is doing. Is up by 3 tenths. Tijum is down by 2 tenths. Marco's matching his time. So we'll see what Panay can do around the final few corners for the Mercedes. And to be fair,
TJ's out.
With Tijum not improving in their time, Panay doesn't have to improve, but they improve anyway to go 5th. Now it's down to what Marco can do, and Marco's abandoned because they've ran out of fuel. Oh, Marco.
Oh, Nash is done. It's a double elimination for the Haas. Boys.
That's unfortunate. So
Oh,
Rainbow, Nasha, David, Marco, and Tijim face the drop zone and fall in Q1. Radical just about survives, as well as Patronus. So both of the Alpines make it to Q2, and hopefully they don't get took out by a road Alfa Romeo in the main race.
Cruiser. Does it look like it's going to chuck it down from those clouds? I know
It,
we're in a
it
desert and it shouldn't
shockingly
do.
does, yeah. It actually looks like it's going to be a thunderstorm.
If there's rain, like it'll be the first time I've
If
ever seen it
if
actually
there's
rain.
rain in Bahrain, then we've witnessed history.
Diamond's not happy. I know Diamond's with TJ right now.
Oh, pain.
TJ will be really disappointed. I know he's put a lot of practice into this week, and like we all have, we've all put a lot of practice in our times and stuff.
Yeah.
But
Anyway.
Blunt Blade on top.
Yes.
The only man. No, I don't want to say that. That's not good.
Oh.
The only man to get into 29th in Q1.
So far, Michael's fish sticks, Vit and Panay with that last lap attempt gets up to the top 5. Mondo Stars Orphan, that's a stable attempt for the Alpha Tauri. The flow in the return goes up to 9th. And the 5 eliminations, as already mentioned, we got Rainbow, Nasha, David, Marco, and the Ferrari of Tijim. Radical, Willibum, Patronus, Scotsman, and Fox joined the pack above into Q2.
Yeah, I think Scotsman only did one run. I think he was pretty much happy with his run. I've just seen Colin says at Diamond, "I'll cook a strat."
Nah,
Colin
the
can cook it.
cloud cover's
Colin's
clearing
good
up.
at cook. He can cook a good old strat. That Colin can. We've
I,
seen some incredible strats from him
I'll agree with
over the
that.
years, seasons. I mean,
Well, take for it what you will.
but if there's one thing that I will give advice to, and it worked out for Clatter Lads on Friday, is the undercut. Undercut is very powerful here.
Ideally.
Take that into consideration for your strategy. If you're stuck in the train, maybe go for box area.
Atrocity revealing his strategy, which was mediums for 1 lap, then ran 1 lap on softs. The rest of the race is a Hail Mary and a prayer.
I don't know you actually got that far. Sorry, question.
Well, you know what's going to
Pulling.
happen now. Anyway, Diamond toasting a
Yeah.
drink to us. Thank you for that, Diamond. And actually, might as well. And I might need to actually jump off real quick because I'm going to fraud myself. I need to find batteries. The joys of Xbox.
Oh, now who's the one who keeps running out of batteries? Everyone else is. Not me anymore. Got really rechargeable pack.
Yeah.
I've got full rechargeable packs and I've got a new charging station, so I should never run out of batteries now.
Yeah, 4 rechargeable battery packs. 4, not 1, 4. Because because you
well,
took
two
the
of them
battery
don't last long.
because you took the battery thing to heart, right? I'll be probably like 2 minutes.
Nah, 2 of them just last
I'll pass you over
about 3 hours.
Pass you over the Alfa Romeo to Fox. Actually, you know what? We'll go with the Astons. We'll go towards Blunt Blade. Vit just headed him on the track, and I'll leave you with them for just a few moments. As C Davies review truth are there to pass the time as well.
Oh, for God's sake! I did say it'd be a dare. But I did say the next one would be a dare. And get absolutely hit with them. My ace control is going to really annoy me. This vibration, I can't leave it on the table. It's a lovely drink, that is. Shame. Oh. I cannot actually change my thing. What is going on? Oh dear. There we go. There we go. As we're going to watch Vit Bunt Blade, sorry. Is it Vit? No, Vit. Yeah, we're on Bunt Blade. Oh my god, Has my controller settings changed on? What's going on? Anyway. Oh my things. I didn't even need to go out, but I was panicking, thinking I wouldn't make it in, says Matt. But as Bond goes through turn 8 or 9, gets a little bit of a slide, probably on a used set of tyres. And we're going to watch him go down the... Oh, what's going on? My controller's going funny today. And up through turn 11, sing Little Lies by Fleetwood. I don't know that song, Colin.
Tell me
not
lies, tell me sweet little lies. There you go.
I don't know.
I don't know if that was the right
even
song,
know.
but you're welcome.
I don't know.
I dug you out a hole.
Colin is like younger than me, like 5 years. Mate, so
yes!
I'm an old man to you, Colin. I'm turning 29 on Tuesday. You can't be giving me these. I don't know what this is.
It turns out it was the right song. 10 points to Gryffindor. As well change
Yeah, I don't know the biggest song from the 90s, and I'm like, no. Cruiser's battery's died. Yes, it's not just me. Someone call an ambulance, but not for me. It should work in your favour, Gary. What? Why would that work in my favour? What are you on about?
Yeah, I think that's enough Fleetwood Mac for one day. The flow, 30.5. Usually for Q2, you'd expect a few older tyre runs, and I think Scotsman didn't echo that. C. Davies saying the disrespect to Fleetwood Mac. Love it.
Just don't disrespect. If I don't know the band or the song, I don't know who they are.
You're okay saying that song came out in 1987.
Well, it's even worse. It's before my time. That was like 8 years before I was born. Like, come on.
Oh dear.
David might know with it because David's close to that time. David's like 32. Ask TJ, he'll know. Ask Tommy. Ask TJ. He was born in that year.
I think you're just making more enemies here, mate.
Daddy cool. I don't know what. Daddy. Just Google the lyrics and sing it. God's sake.
Daddy cool. It's bad. Bad, man.
How do you know these songs? What's wrong with you?
Memes.
Ah, right, okay, fair enough.
that's how I know, and a ton of radio.
If you ask me to sing Baby Shark, I'm going to time you out for an hour. I am not singing that fucking song. No, it's not getting sung. It's not being sung.
Wow,
hang on a minute.
Imagine floating out the amount of the channel points, man. That is shocking. Disrespect. Shame Silverside.
I had to sing on Thursday night, Sexy and I Know It from fucking LMFAO.
Yes.
But now you're getting to sing, now I'm getting singing, was it Stanley Cool and fucking Little Lies from Fleetwood Mac. It's two bands, I don't even know who they are.
Oh,
come on. Oh, singing Daddy Shark. Yeah.
Anyway.
Use the power. Come on. Not singing Daddy Shark. Yeah, mature channel.
I think that enough of that. I think right. We're gonna need to find a song that isn't fucking Barbie World for Silverside Boy to sing, because that's probably the only one you'll know. Right, well, there you go. You know what? Sing it. You just dug yourself a hole, mate. On you go.
Yeah, the fucking Barbie film just came out.
Go for it.
It's in that film. Anyway, we're going to get the lyrics. I know of the song, I need to get the lyrics up. I'll get the lyrics on that one.
Well, there you go. It's not quite Fleetwood Mac or Baby Shark, it's gonna be Barbie World from Silverside Boy. As Monroe was third on a 30.5. This whole half of this Q2 session has been a truth or dare and Silverside Boy karaoke. Welcome to FPRL, where in
I don't want the Nicki Minaj ones.
Where in qualifying we don't have anything to give but the race. We try our best to make things entertaining. But right now qualifying is just more of a 1 hour chat interaction. Rolls right off the tongue for that promotion.
I am not singing this Barbie one from
but you
Nicki
know
Minaj.
No, no. Nigel saying born in the USA. What is that? That's Miley Cyrus or something. Yorkie's singing WAP. Well, there you go. You know.
Oh no, I know that one. I don't think that one's suitable for stream. I can know that one. Gary Singh, born in the USA. Okay.
Oh no, I think of another one. Fuck. I was thinking of another one. No, I was thinking of Party in the USA. Fuck. Anyway, we got Panay. Jordan saying Anaconda. I think we would get off the air relatively quickly if we had to sing Anaconda.
Do I have to do the?
Well, this is now just came into a jukebox session, instead of a qualifying session. Right now we have Tier 4 just going around for some laps while we try and pick a song that Silverside Boy is actually contempt.
I'm actually looking at the words now for Born in the USA, but I'm trying to figure out where do I start.
I was born in the USA. Anyway, Fish sticks on a 30.2, the Tattooed Star matching on a 30.2, and Michael's going to be the last one to set a lap. Matt, both of them, unfortunately, that's not how it works, it has to be one or the other. Sorry about that, Panay. Jordan, I think it's a little bit too far. He's saying do the dance to Anaconda.
Yeah. I'll do it.
You can find that on FPRL's OnlyFans.
I will put that. No. I'll put it on. No, I'll get Monkey to put it on the Twitter.
Matt saying the Scottish one, or myself, Cruiser. Mate, I'm your teammate. Right, fine, you're not fine. We'll change my name to the Scottish one. Right, here we go. Anyway, French here at 29.7, and Matt, fine, there. Since I'm actually got something to actually dare. But I am not singing Anaconda because I don't know the words. I am not doodling it because it's just...
I hate singing.
Because there's clips of a music video of it, and it's not cultured. Anyway, Michael's in the Ferrari. It's a 29.9 for Michael's up to second. And that's everyone set a lap now in Q2. So now we see what the cut-off could potentially be. We've got Bluntblade, actually. Our man who topped the first session, out for another lap. And I'm pretty sure I need to wait for... Actually, Panay's still in the pits, so they are conjuring up my poison. Crosstreet's requested Strotsman for us to watch Strotsman on his lap. Where actually is Strotsman? He's in an out lap. We're not watching an out lap's Crosstreet, but we will watch him for the main lap. Anyway, we're going to follow Bluntblade as a teammate Vit goes up is up in third on a 30.1. You're going to try and give his teammate a slipstream or a tow. Matt, also known as Panay, saying the rest of the session, whenever you mention me, you have to call him the Almighty. So the Almighty Panay. You know what? I'm fine with that.
Oh, come off it! Hang on a minute, that's very tame. Hang on a minute. So in season 3,
yeah. I like that guy. I like that guy. I like the Almighty Panay. I like that guy.
Hang on a minute. No. This is rubbish. So in season 3, I had to call for a whole season. I had to call Emma Stride Daddy.
Yes.
All season. But then
and we get one more.
And he gets to call the Almighty. Nah, this is rubbish. This is an agenda.
What do you mean?
I didn't want to be in. No, it's fine. Daddy Pena.
Nah. You've asked for the Almighty. And I'm going to tell you the Almighty Panay. As Vit actually was fastest, Bluntblade on a 29.8. And that's made things a bit more interesting. We've got 2 minutes left, so I think we'll avert that. As speaking of Panay, The almighty Panay is in the drop zone with Patronus, Radical, Willibum and Stotsman, who at Crossbury's request we are going to watch for their second lap, potentially their final lap in this qualifying session, and the Red Bull has to get it right. So while we spent the whole of Q2 rolling the FPRL jukebox and truth or dares galore, we're going to finally take things a little bit more seriously. It's Stotsman up by 3/10 already on their lap. So far so good then for his quote nickname the Flying Stotsman. Needs to be committed on rails and I'd say on time. The time he has to beat is probably a 30.4, maybe a 30.2 to match his teammate. Fishstick's not feeling safe in a 30.2. Away he goes for another outlap, and Stotsman down towards turn 11 for the second time and final time in Q2 as Frenchie retires from the session on a 29.7. Michael's retiring on a 29.9, both of which should probably be safe, to be fair. Get through Stotsman up by nearly a second on their lap. This is looking really promising for the Red Bull driver. So far it'll put him up towards the top 5. If he gets his final corner correct, this will be arguably a very strong lap. Clocks inside curb though for the Red Bull. Now to the line for Stotsman. 28, is it going to be the 29s? Just misses it, but it goes up to 5th. Matched his final sector and gives himself a good chance at Q3.
And I'll do it at the end of the session. They give me time to prepare myself to it because I'm going to embarrass myself.
Hey.
As always.
Love to see it.
I can't sing for rubbish and you all want me to sing. Christ. Sends my anxiety through the bloody roof.
Well, to be fair, you've had like seven suggestions. It's like being on now. That's what I call.
I know. It's like
you're on a bloody. It's like you're on. What is it? It's the. No, that's what I call music CD album or something. It's just you singing. It's you singing all of the tracks.
I'll do the first verse, but they're all mocking me because it's taking 10 minutes. Mate, I cannot just sing. I have to prepare myself. I hate doing it.
Also, now the news, the Flow has left the session.
Oh.
So while you do that and prepare your vocal cords, now that's what I call sectarian cruiser, if you know, you know. Hey! Well, it's not me or Stotsman singing it, or you, because to be fair, if we were to have our own CD album, it would be... it wouldn't sell in one half of Glasgow, put it that way. Anyway, we got the Almighty on their run. We got Patronus, Radical and Mongo, the only drivers that can improve. From the drop zone, the Flow is in major trouble, and the time to beat is a 1:30.5 as the Flow has joined back. There won't be a sudden departure. The Tattooed Star on a 30.2 thinks they are safe. Fishsticks on a 30.2. Went out for another run, but doesn't need any more improvement. Stotsman up in 6th, and we got Fox as well on a 30.4. That could be a little bit troublesome. You don't know, search it on YouTube after stream. Right, I'll bear that in mind. It's gonna be bad for match days, I can tell. But the Almighty up towards the top of the hill, 7/10 up. So far, that's gonna be just enough to get him through. As we see more improvement, Patronus goes up to 5th, Mondo goes up to 2nd, and that's knocked out Fox and the Flow. So the time to beat is a 30.2 set by the Tattooed Star, which Radical and the Almighty Panay have one more chance to try and beat, as Radical goes up to 5th and the Almighty goes up to 7th. So now
Scotsman just survived.
Scotsman has only just made it. Fishsticks is out, along with the Tattooed Star.
Oh, it's one Red Bull done. And out.
And look at that. It's what? 8/10. No, a second covering the full field. And only half of that covering would you be generous and say the top 12?
Yeah. Half a second to separate the top 10. Literally one mistake and you're out.
Yeah, 6/10 covering the top 12, and Fishsticks and the Tattooed Star, two names that I didn't expect to get knocked out, as well as FPRL Fox, the Flow and Stars off and joining them in the drop zone. So our top 10 for qualifying, we got Vit, Mondo, Frenchie, Bluntblade, Radical, Patronus, the Almighty Panay, Michaels, William, and Scotsman.
Here we go.
It's time for
Fucking-
Silverside Karaoke, everyone.
Born down in a dead man's town. The first kick I took was when I hit the ground. You end up like a dog that's been beaten too much, till you spend half your life just covering up. Now, born in the USA. I was
Born
born in the
in the
USA. There you go, you're done now. Is that
There you go.
fuck's
There you
sake?
go. There you go.
Fucking
Background track.
civilized.
Have at it. Silverside Boy featuring Cruiser, and I'm sorry for that medical bill.
Sorry. Well, that was the first chorus, by the way. That was the first verse. That's literally start of the song. The Born in the USA is actually the chorus that repeats in the middle. I, these guys know the song, but they don't know what order it goes in. It just doesn't go.
Yorkie saying, "All rise
right.
for the US national
Do you know what's
anthem."
even more funny? When I was apparently you can't sing that song anymore now because it's about failed US Vietnam soldiers. And the guy who sings it will refuse to sing it now. It's too
Well, I mean, to
offensive.
be fair, they did try and cancel Fairy Tale of New York, so there you go. Have that.
Don't want my singing. That was
Yes, see,
It's like
Davies.
a dude.
Love it. We've
What?
been caught. You've been framed, Gaza.
What do you mean?
We'll find out after the stream. And also, in other news, we got 30 viewers in here that have probably had to turn down their audio. How do we sign language to them through this that it's okay
Oh, they've
to
not
put the volume
turned.
back up?
No, it wasn't that bad.
It wasn't that bad.
Off.
Mate,
Fuck off.
mate, I don't watch
Do it
the
again
streams
now.
I commentate on because of my microphone and my voice.
Mate, that's going to be playing around all the time now. We have to listen to my own voice.
Yes! And mine for the background track, don't forget.
Buddy, it's alright for Colin. Everyone loves Colin's accent. It's changed man one.
Up the stop,
Jarvis is a
man.
change. Jarvis is a changed man. Unless,
Well, I mean,
Don't say
to be
that,
fair,
no,
he was right for all of 5 seconds at the time.
I just want to call out Cruiser because he made a highlight reel for Tier 3 and he just put his own highlights in. Here's the highlights of the race.
My
Just
highlights!
his own,
Mine.
yeah, your highlight.
Bull. You know the rest.
Knew that would get him to bite.
Yeah, I knew because I bloody made it.
I said that's the new theme tune to this league. Play it every time we start a stream.
Yeah.
No.
Just imagine we don't like a countdown to the stream, hit 0, and then you just have that play for like the 30 seconds. Hello, welcome to FPRL, and please welcome our karaoke duo for the evening. And we're sorry in advance.
Not doing that again. No more. Oh,
Now, just for the reminder, Truth or Dare is only 500 channel points. Wait, would it be rude for one of the Tom's partners to actually put a Truth or Dare in?
If you put a truth or dare in, we're going to be on the list.
I'm just saying, you know, it's there.
I already get enough.
I've not tried it yet.
I already get enough booing from Colin in the chat.
I mean, to be fair, I could self-report myself.
Jokes.
Oh,
Who's a
Nigel,
truth or dare?
I've
Come
done
for you.
it. I've done it. I've done my dare, which is courtesy
Yeah, but he's
of
put another one in.
which is the almighty Panay. Nigel says, "Why do you laugh like Mrs. Brown?"
You actually do. It's quite funny. I just noticed it. Might have to get an audio clip of Mrs. Brown's voice off. You can't unhear it now.
Nigel Truth.
Someone please, can someone do an edit of that where he laughs at and just puts her face in the edit? Tell the difference. If you haven't seen, if you don't know what Nigel's talking about, search up Mrs. Brown's Boys, and then watch it. It's a very funny British comedy. He's put, and your
Oh.
truth. Who is your favourite member of the admin team? Other than myself and Scotsman.
I like Ollie Foley as much.
Right, this is the final time I'm inviting the throw. It is this third disconnect. So if he doesn't get back in, he will not be able to get back in again.
I like the admin team as equal. I'm not choosing a favourite. Because if I do choose a favourite, you'll all call me out as biased.
Well, Crosscut, it is a British comedy. It can be a British comedy with an Irish actor.
Regardless, it's comedy.
Yeah, it's comedy. It's great on British TV.
Yeah. Oh, well right, in other news, this whole stream has went tits up. Q1 was just no energy. Q2 was the FPRL jukebox, and Q3 has been the roast of Cruiser. Lovely.
I can't just say truth or dare.
Oh, it's out of stock. Fuck.
It's not just asking, you have to put it in. And I'm always going to go through because I know what you're going to be like with dares.
Anyway, we're already halfway through Q3, and only 4 times on the board, and that one that's fastest is Patronus in a 29.5, French in a 29.8. Could we actually see 128? Could we see 128s tonight?
I really hope not. I don't. That's like.
We'll put it this way, Gary. Your Q3 time was faster than mine.
Was it? I did it
because I didn't set a final lap.
But what? You mean the one Q3 time that I managed to do when I tried to go for my second one? I lagged out. My Xbox turned off again.
Yes.
Yeah.
You had a faster set to 1. That counts in my book.
29.4, I think that's it.
Yeah, well,
that was on used tyres.
I set a 30.1, so you win. Get this man down. Get this man up to tier 2. He deserves to stay tier 2.
Who are you? Or me?
You, because you were faster than me, and I was a candidate.
Nice.
But to be fair, I did almightily bottle qualifying.
Yeah, well, my technology let me down, but if these guys beat my 29.1, then that's outrageous. You did crash that night, that said, Nigel did crash. So we know Nigel could have probably gone quicker if he made it all the way to Q3. And Michael was purple in the middle sector, so got no delta as he did this is one and only lap he's going to be able to do. We're not going to have to do this lap time. Oh, he's backed out again.
Well, got 4 minutes left. To be fair, if he did complete that lap, he wouldn't get rounded in for one more. And Nigel, yes, I missed the quote fucking flag.
What do you mean you missed the flag?
I didn't make the checkered flag before it timed out qualifying. And I started down in 9th.
Nice. Let's have a look. Mongo's.
This is one run.
And he goes P5.
Yeah, now Mondo, you've got to soar back to the pits, grab a jet, get back to the car, and then have one more lap. Because as it stands, you're going to be down at the back.
Right, let's have a look. See how Vit's doing on his lap in the Aston Martin. He goes nice and tidy through turn 10. Didn't get much to the side, got the perfect exit as he makes his way down to the uphill turn 11 and 12, which in previous Formula 1 games would be the worst corner on this track. Gives you the traction issues, but now you can just foot to the floor and just not have to worry about it losing the rear.
Well, 2.5 minutes left. It's going to be the one run here for Vit. And around the final corner he goes. Top the standings in Q2 is going to be repeating that in Q3.
Yes,
He is. By half a tenth. 29.4.
Fastest time of the session so far, of qualifying so far. But you got Haniara, I think it's just coming out of the pits now, coming down the pit lane.
It's the almighty Panay.
Oh no, that's you've got to call him that. I don't.
Oh, fair enough. Well, I still refer to him as the almighty, so there you go.
The Almighty.
Yeah.
Like Bobby Lashley.
Yeah, shit on the
WWE.
Lashley.
Has he quit WWE? I haven't seen him for ages.
Ah, he's back.
Oh, we know he's watching. Haniara's watching. He's just waved at Scotsman with his rear wing as he went past.
As you do. He's not greatness acknowledging greatness.
Apparently, Nigel said he thinks he's got one. You need to do what he said.
Wait, what? Wait, what was
I
this?
just want to.
Oh, yeah. Frosty's done it for me. There you go.
If you don't do it, I'll do it. Oh yeah! There you go.
Oh, there you go. Well, that made up for you there.
Yeah, there you go. I actually,
Oh, there goes the McLaren.
but on my way to work, there actually is usually I see a lorry with the words Hoya on there, and every time I go past it, I always shout that out with my crash helmet.
If I were the almighty here, I'd get a move on.
So you won't sing, but you'll fucking do that. Yeah, Nigel. I can't invite the fly back now. Colin, you're gonna have to tell the
Frenchie goes fastest.
Flo's had his three invites. I think the flow's out.
Yeah. I'll need to invite him back in. He does the one run. Bluntly in a 29.2. And the almighty Panay will have one more run and he'll be the last one to cross the line. But Scotsman's actually going to be the final one to settle up here. Radical and Mondo are not going to make it. So who's actually the lead car on track? I think that's Michael's. Obviously, I think we're all focusing here on the Ferrari's lap. Very turns well, Widow. And that's
back to where
that's a purple sector. Could we see a 28 here in Q3? It's down towards the final few corners now for the Ferrari, taking that line quite nicely, and now using a bit of the exit curb short dash to the line. 28, is it? Not quite, but it's enough for pole. 29.1 for Michaels. Panay on their run. Scotsman's on their run. Who's next up? It's going to be Frenchie, but he's already done that lap. Bluntblade has done his lap as well. So next up will be Panay, the almighty Panay, as I need to say for just one more time in this session. And now around the final corner they go. And that Mercedes looking to be at 29.1, at least get somewhere close to mid-table. And goes 7th and a 29.8. Scotsman is next up to the line, goes 8th himself, and Petronas backs off. So Michaels got a lap in when it counted, and he takes pole.
He's snatched it from Bluntblade. He was going for his first ever pole. I swear it's just the Gary name. Like, Gary's just can't get poles in qualifying. It's like an agenda against us at this point.
And that does it for qualifying. Michael's taking the maiden pole of the season and their maiden pole in the league. Bluntblade joins them on the front row on their I believe their debut outing in Tier 4. Epic Frenchie and Vit, a decent showing here for the Aston team. Second and fourth Frenchie splitting them. Petronas and Radical row 3 for the Alpine team, another decent showing themselves. Then we got the almighty Panay in 7th, Scotsman, Mondo and Willibum in the McLaren, messing up, I would say messing up the final run, just couldn't quite get it together, and is in 10th for tonight's inaugural race in Tier 4, or Season 6, and tonight's Bahrain Grand Prix. Nah, truthfully, there's out of stock for broadcasters. I'm sad. maybe because I'm a moderator for the Twitch stream. Oh well. And now we wait.
Now we played a waiting game.
Yep, it's called Windows Lobby Host Ready Up. But throw us out to the Twitch chat. What did you guys make of today's Hungarian Grand Prix? And I know what the answers are going to be already, because let's just say from a personal point of view, it wasn't the best race in the world. You know, latter lad saying it was a boring race, not going to say the other word. Nigel
He's
saying
only
that,
he's only saying that because he's rather good pants.
I mean, it doesn't take much. Nigel saying that Verstappen is a dirty driver, and Bahrain King, that's a name I've not seen in chat, good evening to you, welcome to FPRL, saying that they're upset for the Alpines' fortune, a French, and it was a nice race. It was okay in stages, just wasn't eventful throughout, unlike Silverstone, I feel. But to be fair to Silverstone, even that had a die down. But I would say here's hoping Belgium's decent. However, knowing the Red Bull straight line speed, there's only one team that's going to win that race, and it ain't going to be anyone else but Red Bull. Good decent battles. Yeah, to be fair, it did have decent fights throughout the field. And Nigel saying here's hoping Belgium is decent. Yeah, honestly, Verstappen could be a lap down and still win. Put it that way. Nigel saying with their efficiency, it's got to be only Red Bull. No, you're not wrong. Yeah, well, that was a short but sweet conversation. You can't really say much for Hungary. And what was it they mentioned as well, is that Red Bull could secure the Constructors' Championship with, what, within 3 races at Monza? Because it's Spa, Zandvoort, Monza, and then they head off to Singapore, then Japan. Oh well. And I'm going to throw one more quick prediction into the Twitch chat. What's the outcome of tonight's race going to be? Are we going to see another hard-fought victory? Are we going to see another closely contested fight for the victory? Safety cars, a rare red flag, it must be said. We've not had them yet.
We've only seen one red flag since we've been doing this, and that was the social race around Belgium.
I'm not talking on that too much.
You need 5-car incident for a red flag to be thrown out in online.
Ah, well, there you go. Right, guys, you know what to do. Car park at turn 1, and then we'll get to see a red flag.
Well,
but save that for lap. I was going to say lap 53, but I think we'll have it and go lap 26.
My prediction for this session is I think the Aston Martins might do a 1-2 here. Both sitting in 2nd and 4th on the grid.
My prediction is I'm going to be a bit brave here. I'm going to say there's going to be a safety car on lap... Actually, no, I'm not going to say there's a safety car. I think there will be a safety car, but there's going to be a collision between 2 of the top 5 in just after the pit stops.
Don't even talk to me and say, for the one time I wanted a safety car, it doesn't appear. For the time when I'm leading the race in Belgium and I didn't want a safety car appeared.
That's usually how it works, though. Anyway, formation lap is underway. And now we'll play FPRL's favourite game of Tyre Roulette, which is a more dominant one-side split. And Collateral lads, give you your truth, as you've seen the first 3 tiered races, who do you think will win the championship in Tier 1, 2 and Tier 3? Good luck.
Tier 1, I'm going to go with AMS Drive. Even though I know he had a bit of a stinker in here, to be fair, he messed himself up by boxing too early and getting himself in traffic and getting caught out. Tier 2, I'm going to go with Nigel Piggle. I know he's away for the next 4 races, but I know he's fast enough to get a lot of wins this season. And I'm going to pick for Tier 3. I'm going to pick El Pam for Tier 3.
Right, and you're a beauty from the party.
No.
Nah, I ain't that bitter.
For Tier 4, well, I think for Tier 4, I'm going to go with... who am I going to go with?
I think we'll have a better idea at the end of tonight.
I think I'm going to throw one out. I'm actually going to say Bloodbraid. I'm going to put all my money on Bloodbraid winning this championship in this tier.
Well, there we go. And a bonus tier from Silver Say Boy. And now we can actually run through the tires selection real quick. We got Rainbow at the back of the pack on a set of softs. Nasha on a set of mediums, joining him in 19th. P18 is David Lawface in the Alpha Tauri. Marco next to him on the mediums as well. Tidjum in P16 on a set of mediums. Stars Orphan, the first of the drivers, on a set of hards down in P15. P14 is the Flow, joining him with FPRL Fox in the Alfa Romeo. The Tattoo Star on a set of hards down in 12th, joining Fish Sticks on row 6. Into the top 10 we've got the McLaren of Willybum and Mondo on a set of hards. 8th place is Stotsman, a respectable showing from the Red Bull driver with Panay on a set of hards. Row 3 is the Alpines of Radical and Patronus going opposite each other. Patronus on a set of mediums, and from here on in everyone else on a set of medium tyres. Row 2 is Vit, Frenchie, and the front row is going to be Blunt Blade, and the pole sitter in the Ferrari is SF Mitals.
I'm hoping that the 2 Alpines do not suffer the same fate as their real life counterparts.
And there we wait.
Just quick before we go, they asked us, Nigel asked who's going to win the overall constructors. Alpha Tauri. Strongest pairings.
Then we got 5 lights in Bahrain, and for the final time in the tiered races, lights out and the race is on for Tier 4, and it's looking like Michael's got a relatively decent start. Vit jockeying, trying to defend against Patronus. Strotsman making a blinder of a start already up towards 6th. Frenchie challenging towards turn 1, but Michael's having the advantage already, but ahead of the two Aston Martins. Frenchie sandwiched between them, but up the hill towards turn 4. It's Michael's who's got to start. He needed fighting further back, as we'll actually look further back.
Oh, someone's in the wall.
3 wide further back, and there's a car in the wall. It's Marco in the Haas. That's not what he needed at the start of this.
3 cars involved.
Start of this championship, and 3 cars. Yeah, 3 cars involved. Fox and the Flow been caught up in that as well. And that's a terrible start for their championship charge. But still, Mondo and Willie Bum in towards turn 8, jockeying between the Alpha and the McLaren. Radical getting by Panay ahead as well, but Strotsman up 2 places, and Michael's maintaining station. But Blunt Blade is not letting him out of sight easily here.
No, I don't. I think there might have been someone might have come off wide and come back on the track. I may have collected the other 2, but yeah, I don't know if they got damage. The Flow has no damage. So does Fox. General Jake will be crying his tears. His good old Fox, when Fox has not had the best start. Look at Buntway. Buntway, I think Michael's made a mistake.
He's going
for the lead.
And he's going to get the lead.
Go on. There's all the bias gone.
Yeah. Anyway, Blunt Blade away he goes to start lap 2 here. Getting by Michaels at the final corner. And has got a barely any margin ahead of the Ferrari. Michael's going to challenge again into Storman, breaking that a little bit later. Forces bluntly wide. Frenchie looking to get his nose in the mix there, but gets the door promptly shut, and Michaels retakes the lead. And we're only on lap 2 here, ladies and gentlemen, and this could be a fight. It's going to stretch for another 29 laps of this race as the field start to settle down. It's getting all fiery and feisty here up at the front between the Ferrari and the Aston Martin. Frenchie not letting him out of sight either in third. Vit, Petronas, Stotsman, Radical, Mondo, Panay and Willibum in the top 10. As we'll have a look at our positions graphic, the top 5 maintaining station, and Stotsman and Mondo making places, Radical and Panay dropping places. Biggest loser at the start is going to be Fox and the Flow, both of which down 6 places now to the back of the pack. Is Vit down the inside at turn 10, showing me how it's done from tier 3. And Vit, that was a very solid move there, and it's now 2 Astons in the podium. Now Petronas looking to make a move on Frenchie in towards turn 11. To the inside goes the Alpine. Frenchie getting the preferred line around the outside though against Petronas, who's going to get the door shut in the space around turn 12. And Frenchie just about holds on to 4th, but that could have been a whole lot worse. Is it going to be worse? No, it's not. Petronas backs out of that, and Frenchie now down to 4th.
Yeah, Yorkie also pointing out that Blunt looks really sharp. Might have the tyre pressures exactly right. Obviously, this year's game all about getting those tyre pressures correct, because you don't want to be overheating the tyres too much when you get blistering, which causes a horrible feeling in your tyres. So maybe Blunt's got the tyre pressures correct, because it looks like Michaels is struggling in the middle sector. He pulls away, but then under the middle sector, Blunt just gets straight back under his rear wing. And now Blunt can help his teammate, who's going to try and go around the outside, and does, of the Ferrari.
And it's an Aston Martin 1-2. Bluntblade and Vit playing the team games, and Michaels now down to 3rd. Frenchie, Petronas and Mongo making up places as well, up 3 to 6th. And Scotsman losing out 2 places as well in those DRS zones. As further back, I think we're going to have a little bit of a squabble here to get into the top 10. Everyone from Mongo downwards, all in their own little private DRS train. As the tattooed star, that's very deep on the brakes there, just about avoids fish sticks. But still, the Red Bull down in 12th, wanting to make some moves, and on those hard compound tyres, is finding himself in a little, I say a bit of a predicament here, to be honest. But the one that's in the predicament actually is fish sticks. He's surrounded by hard compound tyre users, as well as Scotsman, both of them being sandwiched. Mondo and Radical on a set of hards, and Mondo only 1.4 seconds behind Petronas. So Mondo could make this a full field of DRS trains down to 15th place Nasha, who's kept their nose clean at the start as well. But fish sticks, he's not going to get DRS here, and that could leave him exposed. This will go up towards the front. The Astons are not waiting for anyone. Vit gets by Bluntblade, so Vit has been released by his teammate. Frenchie and Michaels now starting to really struggle here. Michaels through turn 3 will have the DRS to defend against Frenchie. But Frenchie doing a real full charge here, trying to go down the inside of the Ferrari. Breaks that tiny bit earlier though to get the entry. Michaels around the outside he goes. The Ferrari and the Williams, and it's still going to be the Ferrari ahead of the Williams. Michaels is now 1 second behind the Astons, but there's so much fighting here, I don't expect that gap to remain 1 second for too long.
Yeah, I just watched a little squabble between Radical and Mongo into turn 4. Radical defending from the Alfa Romeo driver. Radical now 2.1 seconds off the back of his teammate.
Oh,
Mongo's gone deep.
Went wide. Both of them got on the curb.
Yeah, they got, I can't say that, they got dragged out wide. Yeah, Scotsman just needs to calm his head. He just needs to make sure he stays. He's got to get past Radical and Mongo as they're on hard compound tyres. And his tyres will go off quick. These heavy shots are beautiful as shadows, thanks to the A. But if there's one person I can see just doing his own race and hoping that some carnage might happen in front of him, is he's just been rear-ended by Nasha, is TJM. He's holding on to the back of Star's Orphan and Fish Sticks, still in the DRS. So Orphan has got past Fish Sticks.
Frenchie and Michaels resuming their fight for 3rd, and now Petronas getting his name in the mix too. Michaels is was at one stage leading this race. He's now down to 5th, and we're only through as many laps, 5 laps into this race. Michael's now down to 5th place, so he's really struggling here with his tyre temperatures, I fear. But Vit and Bluntblade still the 1-2, and Frenchie now 1.2 seconds out of the DRS zone, but Petronas is not waiting for anyone. It's further back. I think the flow is making a move on Rainbow, and Marco made a mistake somewhere. As further back we got Panay and Stotsman in towards turn 10. Panay gets ahead of the Red Bull, and now he's got 2 of them behind him. Panay on a bit of a charge here.
Yeah, he's not scared. Obviously, it's his first proper set of league races, and Tier 4, so he's not scared of the veteran Scotsman. He's obviously been here since the beginning, and obviously playing on those hards, obviously getting most of the pace out of those hards, which like Mongo had a look at Radical for a second. Kind of put him offline slightly. Oh, Scotsman's gone!
Oh, Stotsman!
Oh, that's a curse and a half I've just done on my own teammate. Wonderful.
Then he got on the inside curve there at the final corner, and it just spat him into the wall. Meanwhile, Bluntblade and Vit now starting to get the elbows out against each other, and that's allowed Frenchie to catch up to the pair of them.
Oh,
Frenchie
contact!
charging towards turn 4's further back. We've got more commotions. The Tattoo Star and Panay getting their own little fights as well. As you can see, Michael's he's got a brilliant view here, and a brilliant drift as well, to be fair. It must be said, 7 out of 10 for Styles points there for the Ferrari driver, but doesn't get you any points in the race. Still up in 5th, but he's got a perfect view here of a 4-car melee trying to get the lead of this race.
Yeah, and now the worst thing for TJ right now is he is stuck behind all these cars in front of him, and he's got fish sticks. He's going to look to go for the inside on the Alpha Tower. Oh, fish sticks is tapped in,
Tijim's done it as well,
but he hasn't got damage.
you'd hope not if you were Tijim. As Rainbow's retired, Rainbow's out, he's dropped it out of turn 4.
No, he's retired on track.
Rainbow, unless he got beached in the curb and he didn't know about it.
Oh dear. Well,
No, Rainbow. A premature end for the McLaren's race, and they are out on lap 6 here in Bahrain, which, to be fair, has been a hectic race, it must be said, as jockeying everyone. Nasha down the inside of Tijim, spun, and he's collected the Ferrari, and he's topped David out as well. Nasha missed the breaking point and just collected 2 of the admin team.
DJ's got damage.
Dear. And he's front line damage for David as well.
Has he? He looks fine.
Aye, I think David hit Tijim.
No, he's got both his end plates.
And
he survived.
David, he might have just got away with that there, but Tijim will not be best pleased with the Haas's antics, as now Stotsman's out. That's actually now Stotsman ahead of Nasha. Stotsman back up to 14th, but he's got a 5-second gap between himself and David. Is now Nasha trying to attack against Stotsman, but knows better off and backs off of that move. But Tijim, he's going to be sorely feeling that one. He's going to have to go 23 laps now to the end of this race.
Scotsman's had another moment.
Oh, Scotsman, careful. He's got Alonso at the corner, to be fair. He's in ascending towards turn 10. Nasha shuts the door on him, and Scotsman, he's backed off of that one. I think he knows better. But we got another fight here.
Oh!
Oh,
he's just cut. What?
as soon as I look away. Oh dear, and we got 4 cars. We're 4 away towards turn 11.
3 wide. Oh, there's contact!
Careful, everyone.
Nasha, don't. That's just back up. I think he might have. He's got to have underfloor damage or something, because his rear end is so. Nasha went airborne, apparently Shadow says.
Oh dear. Anyway, Bluntblade, Vit and Frenchie. Bluntblade starting to pull a gap here between his teammates, starting to make that gap more than 1 second to get out of that DRS window. It's Petronas right behind the Williams, and to be fair to Radical here, with all this fighting ahead, he's starting he was maintaining that gap of around 2 seconds and on a set of hards. Radical, he's going about his business here.
Yeah, formerly known as TS9. Could be a dark horse to this race. Later in the stops. Because obviously he'll be on the set of mediums. So he's going to be the quickest man at the end of the race. So the closer he gets to it now, the more advantages he can have at the end of the race.
Definitely that. But as mentioned as well, the top 5 are starting to fight, and Radical is just keeping his nose in there. 2 seconds between himself and that lead group. But as you mentioned too, actually, the top 10 are actually split on tyres. The top 5 on mediums, the top 10 are on hard compound tyres. And we got the 2 Mercedes as well, 10th and 11th. First steps on a set of mediums and starting to back up the, back up the mid pack a little bit. But it's starting to get a little bit more spread out here between the fields, but expect a few pit stops within a couple of laps. Mondo right behind the McLaren, and the level pegging, and has left the McLaren for dust. Mondo up to 8th, as now got his sights set on a Tattooed Star, who's, to be fair, is actually running a bit of no man's land currently, down in 7th for that Red Bull team, 4 seconds behind Radical, and think Tattooed Star is just going to run his own race from here on out.
As the Flo, who's at the back of the field, is now just got past Scotsman for P14.
On a small charge is the Flo, to be fair. He's doing his job. He's up 6 places. Tell a lie, he's up 5 places from the start. Still doesn't mean they've had a poor race, but 9 seconds behind David. That's going to be a lot of time to make up for the Williams if he has got the chance to make that up. But he'll jump back up towards this lead group and the top 5. Michael's still down in 5th, not making any inroads, but 60% battery for the Ferrari. Petronas on 43. Frenchie is on 10%, Vitt on 10%, Bluntblade on 20%. So Michael's electing to sit back here. Might have one eye on that undercut. Not use that battery anywhere near half as much as the cars in the top 3.
Yeah, well, he's getting a lot of toe down the straights because of the DR, so he doesn't actually need to use the battery at all. He's just getting pulled along very nicely from the car in front. Oh, 3-second time penalty.
As for Panay, who's looking at the back of Volleybomb, level pegging with Volleybomb, but one thing as well, Panay, he's got that fuel light on, so he's got to conserve that throughout the race, but he's full throttle and he's got by the McLaren as well. That's 2 in 2 laps there against the McLaren, and Volleybomb now down to 10th, but meanwhile, Vitt making his move against Bluntblade, and Petronas making his move against Frenchie, in towards turn 4, still level pegging. Who's going to break later between the two of them? It's going to be Petronas, and now Michael's going to follow through here, in towards turn 7. Frenchie, Michael's getting the car, but he gets back ahead of at least one car, and Frenchie does a time penalty as well, and that is the first kink in the top 5.
I just want to put out there, FPRL, take note, that's how you overtake there. I just also want to point out that I've noticed on the Mercedes in P9, on his fuel gauge, while his fuel gauge is yellow, he underfueled by 2 laps.
Oh.
At the moment, he's going to run out on lap 27, so he better start fuel saving now, or he's definitely not making it. Mongo's had a moment.
Get Flintstone the car. That's all I'm going to say on that. But he's definitely putting for a safety car to try and build some fuel back up towards the end of this race. But that is a bold call from Panay. We'll see if that works for him as the race progresses. Lap 11 now of 29. Vitt, Bluntblade, Petronas, Michaels and Frenchie, the top 5. And now Radical 1.4 seconds behind Frenchie, and that's what this fighting will do to the likes of Radical. It'll just bring them all the more closer as Bluntblade goes wide at turn 1, still fighting with a teammate. Petronas, he's got to back off here in case anything happens. But now that it was turn 4, Bluntblade's battery is not looking very healthy, to be fair, judging by the rear of the Aston Martin. That light is flashing violently, and he's on 10% here. Vitt on 24%, Petronas on 30%. Michael's still in a healthy position here on 46.
Yeah, I'm keeping an eye on all the rest of the battles. I've just
Oh
seen
my.
Mongo. Petronas has just made an absolute.
Around the outside at turn 10. That, if someone could clip that, please, that is probably move of the season already. Wow.
And Michael's looking to go try and do the undercut switch back. Up the hill he goes tight. Where's Bloodblade? Bloodblade doesn't. It's going to be unseen where he is. They lock tyres. One's going to have the line.
Forces him wider, and that's held the position.
Yeah, it's really hard trying to do the switch back to someone, but look who's going to have a big advantage. It's going to be Epic Frenchy. He's got past Michael. Oh, he's cut the corner.
Yeah, I think he had to be fair, to avoid Bluntblade. But that was out of panic, and Bluntblade's the first to blink. He is in the pits.
I wonder if that gave Epic Frenchy a warning.
That is... Oh, it would give him a warning, but that is...
Oh, we gave him 2 warnings.
Oh, dear. Well, regardless, though, that's going to be a major chain reaction in the top 10. Or even in the top 5. But where is Bluntblade going to emerge? He's got to emerge, I'd say, ahead of Scotsman, or at least filter in that gap between the flow and Nasha. He's going to be just behind the flow, but he does have a bit of clear air in front of him, and he does that tyre warm-up. So that's good information, I think, for the top 4, where they will filter out in this race. It's going to be down in 14th.
Well, he knows that the cars in front of him are going to be boxing soon. Those, because they're on mediums like he was. So they're going to have to come in soon. So hopefully they come in before he gets too close behind him, not gets held up for too long. Because we all know you can gain at least 5 seconds if people do decide to go 1 lap longer than you.
And to be fair, I think Bluntblade, well, you would usually say that there was, what was it, it's team orders or something, or team preference, that the lead car will pit first, but Bluntblade was the first Aston Martin to pit, and I think Vit's going to go again. Petronas is in a box. What's Michael's going to do? He's in a box, and Frenchy stays out. So that's an interesting split. Not all
they must
of them
be covering
responded.
Off Blunt. They're covering Blunt.
Well, Blunt's right behind the flow, and he's got a fight on with Scotsman. Meanwhile, Petronas and Michael's making their way down the pit lane, and is actually about to leave the pit lane. Bluntblade still behind. The Scotsman makes his way into the pits. The flow going to have a very healthy slipstream here, as we'll see. Michaels is just leaving the pit lane. Petronas leaving the pit lane.
Oh, they jumped him.
Bluntblade's going to be he's going to be level pegging with Michaels here, but Petronas has jumped Bluntblade. Bluntblade goes wide, and now Michaels has got the run on him. It's what's turn 4, and Michaels has jumped Bluntblade.
So is Petronas. Well,
And
formerly known as Pazuzu.
And that's what traffic does to you. Albeit he's got warmer tyres, but Bluntblade has lost a ton of time there. He's lost around 2 seconds to the Alpine. And now, Vit and Frenchy, now what are they going to do?
He's got a box.
I think that's going to be a no-brainer, actually. The box now are going to still be in the top 10, and Petronas and Michaels still struggling with tyre warm-up, but Michaels 2.4 behind the Alpine, and Bluntblade now over a second behind the Ferrari. So Bluntblade, it was a good start to his race, but it came a little bit, undone here in these pit stops. But lap 13, Vit going around the final corner, and now he's going to decide this is his pit stop. What's Frenchy going to do? He's going to follow himself in. So Radical will take the net lead of this race. The Tattoo Star, the 2 former teammates, now the 1-2, Panay in 3rd, but seriously starved of fuel. Stars off and they're up to 4th, William will go 5th. Fish Sticks is going to go up towards 6th place, but now we'll look. Where is Frenchy and Vit going to emerge? Vit making his way down the pit lane, Frenchy just making his pit stop. Vit trundling down the pit lane. Michaels is just making his way down the start-finish line.
Patronus is... he's jumped him.
He's got the jump. Petronas now is net leader, and now Frenchy is lost out to everyone. The man who was net 3rd is now a net 5th.
Blunt's been jumped. He's had the same problem as Mr. Drypad. Boxing early and getting caught up in traffic and has lost in places.
As these pit stops start to emerge, we'll see a few gaps in the field, but I think this is a fight we all want to see, and I nearly ruined it. David and Tidgham having their own little squabble. David just making his pit stop down in 14th. Tijim having to stretch his tyres to the end down in 15th. The Ferrari and the Alpha Tauri. David knows all too well about the Ferrari team.
David, do your best fish sticks impression. Hold him back. Do a handoff and shout, "You shall not pass."
Oh dear.
Well, I feel sorry for CJ because first he's got to get past David, and then he's got to get past the master of defending himself, fish sticks. Oh dear.
Yeah, it's not been a good race for Tijim, put it that way, after that collision with Nasha. But he's on a recovery drive, we'll see where that ends up. But two Haas's, oh dear. They've had better days, I'm sure. Nasha 18th, Marco 19th, and it's now going to be as Panay's actually making his pit stop here. 14 laps on a set of hards. It's very early.
You would be probably expecting.
But to be fair,
17, 18.
To be fair, he's got a very large gap between, what was it, it's going to be Mondo and Fish Sticks. So he's filtered out very nicely into that, to be fair. And there you go, nice clear track, but he's on shortage of fuel. So he's got to go for a lot of tyre management and fuel management now to the end, or gamble on a safety car to try and harvest that fuel. Meanwhile, the flow goes very wide at turn 4. Mondo says thank you very much for making the opening, and Mondo now up towards the top 10.
There's a battle between Scotsman and TJ, both league management. There's 3 league managements in a row.
Oh,
Scotsman's got past TJ, compounding his misery.
Ain't more of a battle of pride here. From 14th place, David, Scotsman, and now Tijim. But Tijim's mind is on tyre management to the end of this race, I am sure. Meanwhile, we'll look up at the front. Radical leading the way by 3 seconds over his teammate, the Tattoo Star. Both in a Red Bull last season, but Radical...
Teammate?
Yeah, both of them.
Both
of them were teammates.
Teammate, not teammate.
Yeah, I said both of them were teammates.
Oh, right.
Now,
Okay,
one swapping out the Red Bull for an Alpine. Radical, the Tattoo Star, and Star's Orphan on their debut race is going to actually be up in second because the Tattoo Star is going to try and cover off Panay here. So these hard compound tyres aren't quite going the distance here, as the McLaren of Willybomb doing the same as well.
Vitt with the fastest lap. He's 2.5 seconds away from Michaels now. Blunt's 1.4 seconds back from him, but now Vitt is going to be putting Petronas a lot under pressure now and wants to take that win back. Oh my god! Visually to the left and then to the right. Try and find the space. While on the DRS. That was a very, very ballsy because he could have easily lost it.
Down the inside he goes in towards turn 8. Level, pegging. Jonas has the better line. He holds on to third, but these two really starting to get the elbows out here. This is a fight for the net lead.
We're just stunned. We're just stunned. We can't say anything. We're just stunned in amazement.
Well, this is a fight for the lead of the race here, to be fair. Radical and Stars Orphan still leading the way. And we'll actually look at our leader graphic, because Radical could look to cover off the Tattoo Star here, who's now 25 seconds behind the leader. And that could be his race, but Radical stays out again. That could be one eye on a safety car. Stars Orphan's going to go through, but he's got a 1 second gap to Patronus and Vitt. These two are really starting to go for it here.
Yeah, Star Orphans now might get double overtaken here, but Vitt's going to go for the move on. Oh, is he going to make a double? No, he's only going to make one. Oh, he's just got in front of the Alpine. So now it's like Vitt's retaking lead. Is he going to get past Star's Orphan? He's going to do it. He's going to have to try. He's going to have to hope that Star does not let through Patronus, but
He'll let the pair of them through.
Yeah, I think he realised that this fight is not with them. He's running his own race.
Yeah, to be fair, that's good awareness from Stars Orphan, not fighting the inevitable. And Vitt and Patronus now, it's the Alpine, 1 and 3. But Radical yet to make his pit stop, Patronus has. And Patronus is in this fight for the victory here. Stars Orphan now down to 4th. And Michael's 2.5 seconds behind that fight for the lead. Bluntblade now in net 4th. Frenchie, Mondo now potentially running the net 6th. if Radical doesn't make his pit stop. And one driver I think has actually done very well here, just to mind his own business. I was actually looking at our positions graphic, if we can find it. There we go. Is actually going to be this Stars Orphan up in the net 4th, but he's kept himself to himself and could actually be on for some points here if he just keeps his head. Meanwhile, Radical is going to make that call to box. So now where will they emerge in this race as our net leader boxes on lap 17 of 29. We have 13 laps to go to the end of this race. Pardon me. As only one driver yet to make this pit stop, tell a lie. Everyone's made their pit stop. Stars Orphan is in the box. Radical leaving the pits now, as it's as you were at the front. Vit Patronus, Michael's 2.5 seconds behind. Now Bluntblade will starting to get his name in the mix as well. As we'll have a look, Tattoo Star carrying towards turn 1. And he's got the jump on Radical. Where's Panay? He's level pegging. He's going to brake a bit later, take a wider line. But on those colder tyres, Radical is going to struggle with the traction towards turn 3. Oh. Radical just about stays ahead of Panay. And that could be critical for his race and his charge against the Red Bull.
It was always going to get tight once Radical tried to go for it. That it will try and hold it. It was always going to close upon him.
Stars Orphan now down in 14th place, but only 5 seconds away from points, and on fresher tyres by 4 laps to the nearest driver.
Yeah, he's got obviously 9th and 10th in front of him. Both have penalties.
It could be a good outing here for the AlphaTauri team.
Yeah.
Anyway, as we looked from one to another, as Nigel sent a link in chat, well, you know what, I'll be nosy. I get the stream on in the background. Anyway, Vit, Patronus, Michaels and Bluntblade, the 1, 2, 3, 4, and Nigel's clipped Hamilton's pole lap. Right, we'll get that link removed. I am bitter.
What was he doing?
He sent a link to Lewis Hamilton's pole lap, where we don't condone links in the chat unless it's from Nightbot.
What do you mean, pole lap? It just shows you that Red Bull can be beaten. But here comes Bluntblade squabbling with Michaels in turn 1 and 2. Michaels defends it, but it's going to allow Bluntblade to have the second dose of DRS. He didn't get it actually, because they crossed the line exactly at the same time, so no one gets it.
Nigel's made a comment I didn't repeat.
You could have just disabled the link, right?
I could have. But I didn't.
Gary, you call me when Norris gets... Oh, yeah. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. No, I was talking good about Hamilton. I said it was nice to see someone beat Verstappen.
Meanwhile, Frenchie now right behind Bluntblade, but on that time penalty is the Williams driver. Not close enough, and he's got to hope everyone ahead of him gets a time penalty to get himself back in the mix. But Vit and Patronus, we have 11 laps remaining, and these two covered by 0.7 of a second. Oh, this is a bit familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, it's going to literally be a fight all the way to the end. Also, just noticed that David and his teammate Stars have switched places.
Yeah, David's seen the bigger picture, and Stars Orphan on for points, and there's only, what would that be, 3 seconds between himself and possible points.
Yeah, Stars got past Mong.
As Mond didn't make a mistake, he just got swallowed up by the pair. Radical and the Tattoo Star. Radical looking to do the double here, and you know what? He has. Radical gets the double.
There's damage on the track. Turn 1, there's a piece of wing.
Where?
There was a piece of wing. Like an end plate.
I don't see anything.
Yeah, it's gone now, but someone lost a piece of wing there. I'm trying to see, but all the camera angles are like... Oh, I see it! I know who's lost it! It's, Epic Frenchie. He's lost his left end plate.
Oh, no.
Left, sorry. His left end plate's
we see it now.
I knew I saw a piece of... He must have hit the back of Michael's.
Oh, no, Frenchie. Out of that, or his fight with Bluntblade. But you just see the understeer he's getting there through turn 13. It's not Frenchie. It was looking so promising, but it's just slowly faded to black for the Williams team.
Yeah, he's gonna pit.
Yeah, that's race over, I think, for Frenchie. And his main role now is going to be for points. And even at that, that's going to be an almighty task in itself. But that's the Williams out of the running for the victory. And then there were 4, albeit a bit more spread out than what we saw earlier. Vit and Petronas still covered by 6/10, but Michael's 4.5 behind on 8-lap-old hard compound tyres. Bluntblade 3 seconds behind Michael's, but look at the guy in 5th. Radical is on is something. Oh, Fishsticks, Panay getting a penalty. Fishsticks now is getting swallowed up by Stars Orphan. Scotsman's back in the points, and Stars Orphan looking for points on his debut, but Fishsticks, oh dear. Nigel said
got the grip between his teeth.
It was looking good for the Mercedes team, but now it's got a whole lot worse for them. Panay on another penalty. Fishsticks now down in 12th.
And then I think Shadow goes, cheer up, Nigel.
What does it mean?
Which, all I'm going to say now, it's going to, on the penalty situation, it could help David maybe gain a position because he's not far off this little battle between Fishstick, Stars, Scotsman. If these guys keep fighting, maybe David can maybe, if he gets the move on, he could maybe snatch a point here.
And even Stars Orphan, he's right behind Scotsman, and the drivers ahead are on time penalties. We'll actually look at our penalties graphic. 6 seconds for Panay, 3 seconds for Mondo, and on 10-lap-old mediums currently, 11-lap-old mediums now, and Willybum on 3 seconds as well.
Yeah, but I can tell you who's flying around the track right now. Epic French is probably going to set the fast as that in a minute. Something once he gets a proper lap in. Stars Orphan has got past Scotsman now.
And it's a points so far. It's a points finish on debut for the AlphaTauri driver. Stars Orphan up to 10th place and could be a whole lot more actually.
Oh, I've just realised. Remember.
And another driver, as you said, that's flying along is Radical. Radical is catching up to Bluntblade at a vast rate of knots.
Yeah, Blunt probably tight. He's probably gone in a little bit too early. But I can say this right now. I don't think the P8 Mercedes is going to finish in the points. Remember, he's got minus 2.4 laps of fuel.
Struggling to see that on the driver wheel, to be fair.
I can see it because my dash is in a different place.
Where would you see that though? It's the top right of the dash?
Yeah, it said he's got 4.8 laps of fuel left on board, and that will take him to lap 28.
Take him to lap 28.
Oh dear.
He's got negative 1.5 laps. Does the Mercedes? He's trying his best, but I don't know if his best is going to be enough. Still in 8th place.
I don't think he realises.
I don't think he's noticed either, but by the way, what we haven't noticed is the top 2 are starting to split up. Vit and Petronas 1.1 seconds clear, and Michael's starting to lose ground as well. Bluntblade, and there is Radical. Alpine is looking to get a possible podium here in the opening round here in Bahrain. 5-lap-old mediums against 11-lap-old hards. And Radical is gained nearly a second in the last lap to the Aston Martin. Radical is absolutely flying here.
Come on, Radical, or TS9 Radical, come on. This is a race that he needs. He's had a half-5 second time penalty for national for speeding in the pits. Well, I can tell you those tyres won't die off. P3 minimum, Nigel thinks. Very much possible. He's going to get past 4th as soon as possible.
And he's done just that. Radical ahead and towards turn 12, is he? He's got fully ahead, and Radical up to 4th. As Scotsman gets a penalty, and there's been commotion here. Scotsman battling with Fishsticks, and Fishsticks gets by the Red Bull. One Red Bull up in 6th, the other one fighting to stay in the points, but that 3-second penalty will not do him good at all. Fishgate's now up to P11, and Stars Orphan is now right behind the McLaren. And looking as though that the hard to medium strategy could actually be the right call here. We've got 6 laps left to go, and Radical 2.5 seconds off of a podium place.
Nigel reckons that if he pulls his finger out, he might be able to go for the win.
Oh, look at our leader graphic. With 6 laps left to go, he's got to make up nearly 10 seconds and 6 seconds between Patronus and Michaels. That's an almighty task, to be fair, for Radical, but it could be a double podium for the Alpine team in Bahrain. It could be an almighty start for the French output.
Yeah, well, it's what they deserve after their real-life counterparts with dreadful day.
Yeah, Patronus and Radical showing them how it's done. Survive the first corner.
Not to hit each other. Oh, someone spun! Oh no.
It's Fish Sticks. Fish Sticks has spun at the exit of turn 4. No wind damage though, but that's going to be his points charge done with. Looking as though Radical now 1.9 seconds behind Michaels, and as well the Tattoo Star is 3 seconds behind Bluntblade, who is actually starting to drop back a little bit from the Alpine. The Tattoo Star could be on for a top 5 as well, as we've got 5 laps remaining in Bahrain. Vit 2 seconds clear of Patronus, Michaels in 3rd, and is going to try and hold on to the end. 1.7 between himself and the fast charging TS9 Radical, but he is on a mad one tonight. Bluntblade, Tattoo Star, Mondo, Panayi is one to watch, and we see as well he is really struggling with that fuel. And then we got the McLaren of Willybum and Stars Orphan now wanting to make it up to 9th place. Full charge for the Alpha Tauri, and away goes. He's up to 9th place on their debut, and after starting down in P15, that has been an almighty effort for the debutant.
I've just noticed that Hanea is starting to say, yeah, he's letting off the gas early now. I think he realises he's coming out of fuel. But it's too late.
Currently, he has 8 seconds to Epic Frenchie. And Frenchie is on a time penalty as well. So I'd say, well, to be fair actually, Panayi is on, I think, more penalties. He is on another 3 seconds of penalties, so that gap is around 5 seconds between himself and a points finish on their debut as well. To be fair, all the debutants in this race have fared very well. We've got, I would say, would you count Patronus as a debutant? AKA
no, his name was... No,
his name...
Pazuzu.
Pazuzu taking the drop down in second. Michaels in their debut on for a podium. Radical hunting them down though. 1.3 seconds between them. Panayi on their debut has been absolutely golfed up by Stars Orphan. That fuel saving is...
It's not working.
It's not even critical. It's...
He's got 1 lap of
How
fuel
desperate
left.
is this? Stars Orphan... why did I think he was going to pit there? He's breaking a slipstream to Panayi, and I think he's trying to break it.
He realises he's out of fuel.
He's trying to... Vit, stop penalty!
Oh no, Vit will be done.
And this battle for the lead takes another major turn. Patronus now has the hand.
I think Patronus now realises, sees that 3 seconds, like, right, go for it.
He's got to close that gap, but also he can't afford to make a mistake. Meanwhile, further back, the McLaren of Willybum passed Panayi, and that fuel save, it's, as I said, it's not even at a critical stage. It's life or death, to be fair, for the McLaren. He's now ahead of the Mercedes, and...
More death than anything else.
I think it's more acceptance, to be fair, as Marto gets a penalty as well at the back of the pack. Tidgeon's boxing for a pride point and a fastest lap, to be fair, it must be said. It's been a race to forget for Tidgeon after that collision with Nasha. But Panayi, he's really, I wouldn't say left in toast. If he can launch a tow bar between himself and the McLaren in front and just get, I would say obviously get towed along quite nicely, but it's not looking good for the Mercedes.
1.1 laps of fuel. He's going to run out as he crosses the line to go start lap 29.
Oh dear. And
Red light's on now.
and that means that Frenchie is on for a podium place here, but the gap at the front is 2.5 seconds between Vitt and Petronas. He's got just enough, and that is going to be game over for Panay. He is really struggling as we got a yellow flag up ahead. That is Marco
getting out of the way of him.
Yeah,
Marco
get out of the way of lap traffic.
Taking marker boards out, Colin would be upset with that. No, stop taking out marker boards.
That's why you have 2 sets on the track. But Marco, at least doing a courteous thing, getting out of the way. But Vitt and Petronas, 2.4 seconds. Petronas is doing just enough here to hold on, and Radical, 1.3 seconds between himself and Michaels, but further back, Panay getting past the McLaren and Willybum, and albeit he's going to run out of fuel, but he's making a point on track. He's up in 9th place, and that is something to take from this race as he goes around turn 8, and I think it's going to be game over here for the Mercedes driver in a few moments. Meanwhile, Mongo, 16 lap old medium, somehow he's stretching them out as best as he can, but look at that penalty. Where is he at? He's on 3 seconds, and Stars Orphan is 8 seconds behind him. Stars Orphan could be on here for 7th place here if he really gets a move on, but Radical could be on for a podium if he can get by Michaels. It's 1.2 seconds between the Ferrari and the Alpine, but the Alpine's ERS light is not looking good. Michaels on 14%. He's really starting to panic here against the Alpine driver, but we'll look further back. The McLaren and Mercedes still squabbling, and look, Frenchie, who was on for points here, could actually be in contention for 9th place, and that is Panay out of fuel. Race over for the Mercedes. That is that settled.
Get out of the racing line. He's going to retire. He knows he's done for him, so he's...
It was a brave effort from the Mercedes to get that far. But
I just want to point out this right now. We could see a battle here between David and Fishsticks. David only just out of 1 second on his good long life friend Fishsticks.
But the gap at the front, 2.9 seconds. Between Vitt and Petronas, and Radical is within DRS range of Michaels. This is going to be a colossal finish to the end of our week in Sakhir.
It's got the 3 seconds.
He's only just got the 3 seconds though. Petronas has got to pull out all the stops here in this final lap. He's got to make this the lap of his life to keep within range of the Aston Martin as we start the final lap. That gap, which was 2.5 seconds, is now 2.9 seconds if he's crossed the line. Vitt giving it everything he can here on this final lap. Can he hold on to this victory? 3.1 seconds now. All attention to this fight for the lead, and equal attention, to be fair, on this fight for third. Radical now starting to hunt down the Ferrari. Michael started on pole, could be under threat here, not even finish on the podium. In towards turn 1 we go with Radical. Still just about behind the Ferrari, but Bluntblade behind them as well, looking to pounce if things go up in smoke. Radical now the second chance at DRS, down towards turn 4, he's gaining on the Ferrari, is he going to make a move? No, he's not, he's just too far back, but Radical giving it everything he can to get on the podium. Petronas giving everything he can. He can only give it as best as he can, but Petronas now 3.1 seconds behind Vitt. This is going to be so close to the end. Vitt and Petronas still, it's swinging all the time here between the pair of them. It's a metronome at the front. Vitt and Petronas now 2.93 seconds still, but look actually towards our fight for third. This is going to be Radical's final chance, giving it everything, draining everything he can here against the Ferrari. In towards turn 11, is he going to be close enough? In towards turn 11 we go, into the braking zone, he's just too far back, but Petronas, he's borderline 3 seconds. This is going to come down to the final corner. Who can get a launch out of the final corner? But Vitt, he's got a 3-second lead and a 3-second penalty. Is it going to be enough here for the Aston Martin? He rounds the final corner, and it's going to be Vitt to take the checkered flag. But who is going to raise the winner's trophy? Is it going to be Vitt, or is it going to be Petronas as we charge to the line? It's borderline 3 seconds. Petronas doing everything he can. It's 3.0 at the line. Vitt takes it by half a tenth. Vitt just about escapes with victory. Michaels escapes with a podium in third. Radical, an almighty effort, takes fourth. Bluntblade takes fifth. The Tattoo Star will take sixth. Mongo will take 7th place for the Alfa Romeo team. Stars Orphan on their debut is going to take 8th place. And then we've got Frenchie and Willybum to take the final points in this race. But was what we want to see in Tier 4. So close between all fights on track, and Vit has the first blood in this title challenge.
Radical in chat. 2 words I cannot say. I think he's not. He's a bit frustrated at the end. Very frustrated at the end.
That is an almighty effort from Radical to pick up 4th place. And Radical, where did he actually start this race? He started this race in 6th. And to be fair to Radical, that is a very good day at the office for the Alpine team. A 2nd and 4th, but my goodness, that could have been a victory for Patronus. But Vit, by the skin of his teeth, just about climbs on to the end.
I've just seen the safety car come out on track. So just for you, Marco, the safety car did come out after the racing finished. Also, Nigel's told me to remind you, sticker stream, so you better have stickers.
I don't have any. It was only saved up for Fridays. Sorry, Nigel.
Oh, this is poor.
Well, a bit undignified for Vit, but I'm sure he won't care. That was... We've had 4 races in Bahrain and not one margin of victory over half a second. That is what we want to see in FPRL. Vit, although had a penalty to his name, just about scrapes home to take the victory for the Aston Martin team. The Patronus in the Alpine takes 2nd, and Michael started on pole but fell to 3rd and had only just climbed on to 3rd at the end. Radical takes 4th, and I believe a joint best finish in the lead for Radical. Bluntblade takes 5th, the Tattoo Star from 12th to 6th, a good day at the office for him. Mondo takes 7th, Stars Orphan from 15th up to 8th, and penalty free as well. A very respectable race for the Alpha Tauri. Frenchie will take 9th, and Willy Bum rounds out the points in top 10. Scotsman takes 11th, Frenchie will take 5th, takes 12th, David in 13th, FPRL Fox takes 14th, The Flow in 15th, Tijim, Nasha, Marco, Panayi running out of fuel with 2 to go, and Rainbow, the 2 DNFs in this race. Oh goodness me, what a week we've had.
Yeah, don't forget to include the audio.
Yep.
I don't know if Michael will be joining us. Cruise get the right car up.
That would be ideal. We'll get the Ferrari up first, as my voice breaks. Lovely. There's the Ferrari for Michael's, our P3 driver this evening. And unless they don't join up the party, I would say as well, a good effort from Michael's, just wasn't quite their day in the race. But 3rd place and a podium on their debut, not too shabby for the Ferrari, and done better than what the actual Ferrari done at this track. So that's something. Not say a bit easy to do, but that's another day. Then we'll jump down towards the Alpine for our P2 driver, that being Patronus. And Gary, over to you. You want to interview our winner or a P2 man?
Yeah, I'm here with our P2 man who just missed out on the win by 54 hundredths of a second. Is formerly known as Pazuzu. Pazuzu. That's it, Pazuzu. Now known as Patronus. So Patronus, I think that's your 1st podium in FPRL.
Official race, yes.
Yes, official podium, 1st official race podium. How does that feel for you?
Well, it was a great race. Start, I bogged down a little bit, I feel. But it was close racing from start to finish. If I'm being honest, I think I was running a bit more wing than everybody else. I was pretty down on straight line speed, but in sector 2 and high speed corners I was catching, which was keeping me in tow. But I'm being honest, I don't know how to pronounce him. I'm just going to say Vit. Vit deserved the win. He was consistent like me, and I think he just had the better setup.
Yeah, I've been in the situation where you've just missed out on the win, but you seem happy.
a long way through the season. It's only race 1.
Yep,
Never
race
do
1.
anything silly right yet.
Yeah, we'll quickly go over your qualifying. How's qualifying for you?
It's okay. I made a few mistakes, but I'm not exactly a qualifying merchant. I'm more of a... I don't do very well in qualifying, usually. I make up for it in the race. So qualifying's hit and miss with me. Always is, always will be.
Yeah, and our final question is the same as always as I bring up the calendar. Obviously, our next race is in Saudi Arabia. Obviously, this year's game with the new handling model of the game, track feels so much better. How do you feel with Saudi Arabia?
I'm not sure. I've not raced there yet, so I couldn't tell you.
Oh, that sounds like a lot of track learning needs to be done.
Yes, definitely. I have a setup, but other than that, I don't know much about it.
Anything you want to add, Cruiser?
Nothing much, but Jonas, congratulations on the podium and commiserations on the almighty charge to the end. But as well, we should hopefully have a word from Michaels towards the end of the stream. But in the meantime, I think we'll interview a race winner, that being OI West Vit. So we'll make sure you include your audio and then we can get this underway.
Yeah, I have.
Well, Vit, first off, I was a bit too close for comfort there, mate. That's all I'm going to say. 54 thousandths of a second, and if it, I think that's actually closer than the Tier 1 margin of victory at the line. Possibly our closest victory margin in the league.
It was exactly a tough one. Made a mistake on turn 4 and turn 5, which caused me to get the penalty. I got 2 warnings in one area. Yeah, it was a tough race. I was struggling to try and gain time on you, mate. You're quick. You were quicker down the straights than me, so I had to use near for my ERS to try and stay out of your DRS.
Okay.
But it felt like you let off a little bit, and I started to gain. And then when I got the penalty, I felt you pushing back at me. But it was a good race.
Me a little bit.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah, certainly it didn't help matters with the build up on the stream, but regardless, overall, say very good racecraft from yourself, and to be fair, you did have a few decent results last season, but not quite a victory, and this being your first in the league, at least I'm going to guess, but regardless, it's going to be the most memorable one, I'm sure.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I only think the highest I finished last season was P3. Got a lot of point positions and quite a lot of DNFs, sadly. So improved, I've been grafted in, I've been working hard on this game, and I'm start winning more and more.
And on to Jeddah next week too. I'd imagine it's going to be either magical or terrible for yourself around there, because it seems like only a few people actually prefer that track just for how quickly the corners are through in your face.
Yeah, it's definitely not one of my stronger tracks. I'd probably say the second sector in it is one of my weakest areas. I tend to hit the wall or invalidate my laps on there in qualifying. But if I put the lap times in like I did for Bahrain, put the laps in and try hard, I'm sure I'll be able to do decent times. So,
and think on that note, say a big congratulations to yourself, and we will get the Ferrari up on stream for a quick word with our P3 man, that being SF Michaels.
Hello.
Yeah, Michaels, good to get you in, and just a quick word on the race. Obviously, big well done on the pole position. I believe you're first in the lead, albeit on your debut outing, and a podium to boot as well, but it just wasn't quite your day in the race, was it?
No, I mean, first of all, the pole, I have absolutely no idea where that came from, because I was left with one lap to either do it or don't. I was kind of expecting, like, the Patronus was like 5th or 6th, and when it came out as pole, I was like, okay, that's not troubles, that's good. But I knew, like, going into it, I knew, like, on balance, because of how Q1 and Q2 were going to go, I thought Bit, Blades, and Jonas were going to be tough to keep behind, and that was the case. So I think all things considered, I think third is a great result for me. No idea how I kept it, because Radical was right behind on those mediums, especially in that last lap. But Ferrari held on, so very happy with it.
Yeah, definitely a late resurgence from Radical, but on to Jeddah next week as well, and I'd imagine at least from practice sessions and our tiered races, it's one that you would prefer, or is it going to be just what happens on the day?
No,
It's going to be on the day. Sweet. It's an open battle royal in Jeddah. Here we go.
I don't like Jeddah at all.
Sweet.
I've never gelled with it. It's
Join the anti-Jeddah alliance. Join that, and we'll take over the league.
I tell you what it is.
I don't hear any of this.
I tell you what it is.
Disgraceful language. I'm on stream.
It's too fast.
What?
It's too fast of a track. I prefer tracks with, lots of corners, or because that's where my strength is, and I've never gelled with it. It's either going to be, let's be honest, it's either going to be in the points or in the wall.
In the points, in the wall. I think we'll leave it on that note for yourself, Michaels. But still, congratulations to all of our podium sitters, and thank you to your four for rounding out what was a thoroughly eventful week in Bahrain. And as mentioned, next week FPRL takes on Jeddah in Saudi Arabia. But that does now conclude our stream and our broadcasts for the week. A big thank you to everyone for tuning in and for watching. We'll be back Wednesday, 8 PM UK time, where our Tier 3 drivers take on the Jeddah Street Circuit. And could L-Plan go back to back, or will a new title contender rise? We'll find out in just a few days' time. But a big thank you to Silverside Boy for joining me in the commentary box. And must be said, good luck choosing a favourite race from this week, because all of them were thoroughly entertaining. No, I'm not saying choose one, but good luck picking a favourite moment.
No, I
from
was
the
talking about driver of the day. Race of
yeah,
the week.
and yeah, driver of the day. That's going to be.
There's
tough.
only one person that's going to get it. He doesn't get it very often, but yeah, it's Radical. Radical is driver of the day today.
Well, fair enough, but
No one else could get it.
I'm going to have an honourable mention to Stars Orphan. 8th place from 15th on the grid. That's a brilliant effort from himself to get up there. Nigel saying Cruiser career mode. Maybe another day, Nigel. But those going to be it. Thank you to everyone tuning in and for watching. This has been Cruiser 1872. Thank you very much for watching, and from all of us here at FPRL, good night, and I need to catch my breath. Whew.